Hey guys, Des here, creator of FaeTerra. This video I will be just explaining kind of the basic mechanics and sort of gameplay flow. So we'll take a look at some of the management mechanics and battle mechanics. For this, we will be just doing practice mode and just playing against the AI. We'll use the Soltrix pack. This is a fire pack, so choosing the assassin is a good choice because we get a buff to fire types, air types, insect, and shadow. The character class is buff +1 attack and +1 HP for those elemental types. So in each build there is a starter. Soltrix is the starter for this pack, so we'll equip Soltrix to our team. As you can see, the class is buffing Soltrix +1/+1. Very nice. Let's equip Charyena. So basically you have 10 gold. Per management phase, creatures cost 3 gold. So we can equip one more creature in this management round. So we'll do that, and then I'll explain some of the items. So Peccaday is an air type, and Hoblin is also a shadow type. Both get this bonus, but I'm going to choose Peccaday for now. We can freeze creatures to save them in the shop for later. XP orbs spawn every round, and this is how you start evolving, or one of the ways you can start evolving your creatures. So let's use that on Peccaday. Starters gain 1 free XP per round, so as the game progresses your starter will automatically level up, so you can focus on sort of your other 4 slots. Okay, so we only have 1 gold left. Some items do grant elemental bonus, so this ruby ring will grant +1/+1 for fire types. So it reads +2 attack and +1 HP. However, with the elemental bonus, it'll grant us +3 attack and +2 HP. So we'll save that for later. Apple pies are pretty common, so we don't need to save that. We can freeze Peccaday and Charyena. This is a good shop as we have all those creatures already on our team, which we can combine later to also grant us XP. But we are out of gold, so let's end our turn. So they have a shadow type up front. Next time I go to my management phase, I will see if I can counter this creature. So fire type will counter the leaf type. We should just draw here. So elemental types increase or resist damage by 30%, which is pretty significant. When you're crafting your team, you really want to pay attention to what creature types your opponent has, and that way you can adjust your build accordingly. So let's get some evolutions. Let's evolve Charyena. So we have Charskull now. So evolving is the most efficient way to increase your team's power. They not only gain stats, they also gain a more powerful version of their abilities. So before, Gamble was only granting 1 gold, and now it grants 2. Deathmark does the same debuff, but I gain 8 attack instead of 4 now. So evolving is definitely the best way to increase your power. So be sure to be combining and using XP orbs. Alright, so I'm not going to save anything here. We're out of gold. Let's end our turn. Up at the top here you can see the life points of each player, their username and player leveling, also their class. Alright, easy win. So there's our auto evolve from granting our starter 1 free XP per round. Alright, let's start powering up Hoblin. That is our weakest link. So I guess we could just briefly talk about the sort of ability triggers here. In the gold text underneath the ability name is their ability trigger. So when Manti is summoned, which means when a creature appears on the field, attack 1 random opponent for 2 to 4 insect damage. And then when I'm hurt, I move to the last slot and gain +3 attack. So for Soltrix, when we are summoned, we scorch 1 random opponent for 3 fire damage, and when I faint, teammates attacking now deal +1 fire damage. So having Soul Tricks in my front slot will grant damage bonuses to the teammates behind. So having Soul Tricks first is beneficial. Alright, so here we have sort of a HP scaler. So having this in the early rounds will definitely help us. So when I end my turn, I get a +2 HP buff from Bolster. And when I'm summoned, I buff the frontmost teammate plus 3 attacks. So let's move actually Ceratop up first, because I want to stack Soul Ray up. We have 11 gold, so we have a bit more to spend. We'll equip the Ruby Ring. I saved the Ruby Ring there. We get the bonus from the fire. We can evolve Hoblin, and actually I need to move him around because his ability leeches HP from a teammate behind to buff his stats. And also he has an endure ability, Soul Split. When he faints, he will endure with 1 HP, leeching HP from the teammate behind. So maybe this sort of organization looks okay. We have 1 gold, so we can roll. We can free Soul Tricks here. That seems okay. All right, let's end our turn. So we got the +2 from Bolster there. That is good. All right. So these ability icons are just showing which abilities are triggering. So every time you see that icon, that's sort of the signaling the player that this ability has triggered. Okay, so we can evolve Soul Ray into Soul Sune. However, we will get that for free next round, so I think using an XP Orb on Ceratop would be better. We can do an Amethyst, why not? Alright, we got lucky with the rolls, so we can evolve into Trihorn. Now I guess one high level play would be to consider reaching. Some creatures only have 2 tiers. For example, Ceratop has only 2 tiers. So using XP orbs and combining will only gain +1/+1. So try using XP orbs and combining on creatures you don't already have evolved or have a tier 3 evolution. That just comes with a little bit more advanced play, but that's just a little bit of high-level thinking to outplay some opponents. Okay. We can see here, like I wouldn't freeze Peccaday really, because Fopecker is only a tier 2, so you know, combining and using XP orbs on only like a tier 2 just to gain the +1/+1 isn't super beneficial. I'd rather equip an item or use a consumable. Okay, alright, we can end our turn here. So here we countered their leaf type. As you can see, we dealt quite a bit of extra damage there. Very nice. There's our auto evolution from our starter XP. Now all of these creatures are tier 2. And here's where a player about at round 5, if the game is evenly matched, if your opponent is countering your elements, you can either sell off your teammate and pivot to a different elemental to counter your opponent. But we're in good standing, so let's just keep buffing our creatures. So I guess we'll buff our frontmost teammate. That'll benefit us the most. Let's just equip some items. We can combine here. We have a ton of gold from Gamble. We can combine. Let's see, let's roll 1 time and then we can just use honey here. Okay. Save this balance potion here. That's a decent buff, and potions cost 1 less gold but last 1 less round, so it's a bit of a trade-off. You can get equivalent stats from a consumable. If you have an odd number of gold, you can use potions. Alright, I think we're pretty set for the round. Like, we can just freeze these, and also when I see Solsune has the max tier, you can still further combine if you have the extra gold or resources you can continually combine to power up Solsune. Alright, our team's looking great. Let's maybe shift Charskull. Let's get that extra damage bonus to the front slot and create the momentum. So here we should do 50% more damage, but Phantom there has an ability where the attack goes through him and hits the teammate behind for 50% reduced damage, which actually is a slight counter to our Charskull. However, we still win the round. I think we only have one match to go. So let's just make this quick, and then I'll explain some other game systems and sort of the flow of the game. Some items have some craftiness to it, so if your opponent is countering your element, you can equip an elemental resist item, this one will almost negate total elemental damage against. So if a fire type was hitting Trihorn and I had Cloak of the Magi, it would almost negate that. So if you feel overwhelmed by your opponent's countering, you can equip some items to sort of hold your team line and not get impacted so much by their element damage. So let's just equip a balance potion to Solsune. Let's just roll. This is a cool item on KO. You gain some stats. Pluck P, we haven't even seen yet, is a fantastic early game creature because we get an extra XP orb whenever we roll, so evolving becomes very streamlined using Pluck P. However, fades very fast in the middle game. As you can see, their stat is pretty low. And also, when you level up or evolve Pluck P, you do not gain 2 XP orbs or any bonus there. Analyze does buff a little bit, but not significant enough to really handle the end game if your opponent has a great team. Okay, let's end this match and kind of explain the flow of the game after that. Alright. Yeah, the AI's difficulty level isn't super tough. It's meant to be for very new players, just learning the mechanics, no timer, so you can take as much time as you need learning sort of the abilities and just testing out packs and sort of builds. So here it should bring us to the match results screen. Great. So we got some Fae coins, we got some Battle Pass tickets, and then a medal, or medals. Medals are basically just round wins, so this just tracks on your profile telling you how many round wins you've had. The Battle Pass tickets are for the Battle Pass. There is a free version of the Battle Pass, so you can claim currencies there. And then our Fae coins are used to unlock creatures in our index. So if we go to our index, I have all the creatures unlocked on this profile. However, if you're a new player, you will only have up to Maycelia and Mayfairy at ID number 30. So Smallfin will be locked and cost 5,500 Fae coins. Each creature, I think, up until ID number 50, which would be Manti, will be 5,500, and then I think they have a slight increase at ID 50. Here you can take a look at the elemental chart. This will show you weakness, the type, strong against, and resist. Very similar to Pokemon, where air types are weak to frost, earth, lightning, strong against leaf, beast, and insect. So if you know your Pokemon elemental chart, this should be very familiar with a few differences. Obviously, there's some type differences here. So looking into that and mastering this template will greatly assist you in your PvP. All right. I think that covers the index. So what the index will allow you to do is at level 6 you unlock custom builds, and this is sort of the end game for FaeTerra at the moment, is creating a custom build and using it in ranked. And so at a high level, players will craft the most powerful builds, taking into consideration all the elemental types, what class they're choosing, all these different things, and craft the most build that is the most versatile, or has one really strong scaling mechanic, or whatever you can theory craft up. So how custom builds work is, this is your starter / gold slot. This will be the first creature that spawns in the management phase. So you can remove and select a creature that's in your build deck. So Soltrix is in mine, so I have Soltrix as my starter. So you can choose Spookum and Muddial, however these are premium from the class packs. If you unlock the Warlock class pack, you are granted Spookum as a starter. Same with the Hunter, you are granted Muddial as the starter. So I have the Hunter pack unlocked, so I can choose Muddial if I wish. Okay, yeah, I mean, custom build is pretty straightforward. Just pick 30 creatures. Also craft your items. You choose 2 of each consumable and equip in each tier to fill it out, and you choose 12. After you're done with all that, you can save and confirm your pack, and you can rename it as you wish. And then, yeah, so there's 5 total packs at the launch. 3 are free. You unlock Faunir at level 4, Soltrix at level 8, and then Spookum and Muddial are prepaid, or using Shadow Coins. Shadow Coins is our premium currency in FaeTerra. Fake Coins is our soft currency. The shop doesn't really have Fake Coins to spend yet. We are working on some cool assets that are, worth paying Fake Coins for, like profile icons or skins or something like that. We want to do quite a bit with, obviously, the game. However, funding is very limited at the moment. We are brand new, and we're just trying to see how launch goes and get player feedback and see if the game is, going to do well. So yeah, that covers kind of the whole flow. Other than going to your challenges, you do have dailies. There is easy challenges that are unlocked for level 1 players, medium at level 8, hard at 15. So as you progress, the challenges get a lot more difficult, and it's kind of fun to just look through and going into a game to complete challenges. You are rewarded player XP, which will then allow you to claim these rewards here. This is one of the best ways to get the Fake Coin currency to unlock the creatures in the index. You can take a look at your favorite phase here, which will just show you how many rounds you've used those creatures for. Here you can just select your profile icons, not super important. The Battle Pass, just briefly going over it, you do unlock some skins. For the premium, you also unlock some of the premium currency. So I believe if you buy the Battle Pass, you can get one of the, in the shop, you can get one of the class packs for free. So reaching the max level in the Battle Pass, you will unlock one of these for free. Also through player leveling, you get some of the hard currency as well. We reward players with a little bit of the hard currency. So let's see. I think for free, if you hit a high enough level and complete most of the free Battle Pass, you can unlock a pack as well. So there are some ways to unlock some of the premium items for free. These are the skins in the Battle Pass. Pretty neat. Let's take a look at how you would change that. So if I have a skin for Soltrix, I just go here and hit equip. This will equip the skin to your index, and then you can see that you have that skin equipped. So I have all of them unlocked. So as you can see, these are called alt arts. Yes, you unlock 3 alt arts in the Battle Pass. You get the Jester Grimgeist as well. All right, awesome. You can do friendly battles. These, however, do not reward any XP or currency. These are just to play with your friends. So you can search players here, type in your friend's username, add them, and battle. Here we can view the leaderboard. Don't judge my rank. I was, yeah, That's not accurate. I am a much better player than that, I promise. But yeah, we've got a few players hitting into silver already. That's pretty exciting. That's cool. Seems like people are playing some ranked, so very cool, very cool. I guess that would wrap up pretty much all the basic systems in FaeTerra. If you have any questions or want me to make another video explaining some of the mechanics, then I will absolutely do that. Yeah, let me know, guys. All right, hope you're enjoying the game, and bye for now.